Alright, there's a notification that I'm officially live. Oh, I need to switch out. Let's go over there. I'll probably just gave that away. Oh well. And why is this not showing? Yeah, I don't know why my Hangouts keeps going to a black screen whenever I click away. Let's pause that. Alright, don't see anybody in the chat. Yeah, and again, this is not normal. I'm not sure why my video keeps disappearing whenever I click away, because I have to click away to show videos. Anyway. So, well, anyway, this is Humane Mind Live, episode 141. Democrats exposed, and that has a dual meaning. Yay! Alright, anyway, so today's topics, so this should be a short video. I'm planning on, I should be wrapped up here before 9 o'clock. Alright, so we're going to be talking about a couple of topics here, and really I haven't been feeling well all day. I've been kind of in a bit of a brain fog, and but there's just too much in the news. I couldn't go, and a lot of this stuff is too timely to switch over, and like by Tuesday this will all be old news, so might as well hop on this while it's going. And maybe I should have put Biden or Jeffrey Toobin in the name. Maybe I'll rethink that later. Maybe it should be like Biden and Toobin exposed. I don't know. Anyway, so I'm not adding any new information, but I do have some of my own opinions, or my own spin on, or my own take that I think is unique enough for these topics. Okay, the first one here is YouToobin, obviously talking about the Jeffrey Toobin situation. Confirmation readings, that's doesn't quite, saying it out loud, it doesn't quite have the effect I was hoping for, but that's because the Amy Coney Barrett confirmation hearings were going on this week, and those got completely overshadowed by the bombs that have been dropped on an almost daily basis since like Thursday. That's crazy. It's only been a week since all of this kind of well, it's the October surprise from the Republicans occurred. Alright, and then I've got a couple of quick topics that are not so political. They didn't stop to think if they should. There are no original movies. Never mind. Amazon keeps calling. That's an interesting topic. I don't know if we may not have time for that, but that's something that's a little less topical. We can push to another week if I can't get all this wrapped up by 9 o'clock. And then I have not one but two ending clips. They are of the same topic, but thought they were both pretty good, and I would play them both. All right, so let's roll into the Toobin topic. This is ridiculous. So, oh man, and see, I pulled that up, and then my Hangout goes blank. There's got to be a way that I can have one visible for me and you without. Does that help if I do that? Can you still see? Oh, why is? Yeah, nice. My email's showing. Thank you, Google. All right. So I guess I can't go full screen, and now my screen is locked up. Whatever. I'll also go black screen if I don't know what's going on with my computer today. Hang on a second. Let me minimize that and close that. Is that what's going on here? Is that why this is not working? It's not working like it normally does. Nope, still black screen. No idea what's going on there. Alright, not gonna try messing with that and fixing that here. do this for now, so that way I can actually read the article. All right. Usually it doesn't go black screen whenever I switch to a different tab or a different window. All right. Okay, so the New York suspended Jeffrey Toobin because he was on a Zoom call for work, and in the middle of the call, points the camera downward at his crotch region, pulls the pants off, and then starts pleasuring himself. And at first, the story was just that he exposed himself on a Zoom call. And that doesn't sound so bad, because, I mean, it's bad, but there have been, I mean, there's all kinds of video clips on all over the place of people who are in Zoom calls for work meetings, and they think they muted their camera, and then they go to the bathroom, and they're on their phone listening to the call, but they think that no one can see them or hear them, and either people hear them going to the bathroom or they see them, and it's kind of a joke, or the person is super embarrassed. Now, when I first heard what Jeffrey Toobin said about the situation, I was like, yeah, there's no way this was an accident, or at least not a typical accident. And it has since come out that he was not just showing his penis on camera, but he was pleasuring himself, and that's what the other people saw. So this comment right here doesn't clarify that. So it's like, oh, I made an embarrassingly stupid mistake believing I was off camera. That sounds like a normal reaction. It's his other response that is in this article. Okay. I thought I had muted the Zoom video. Okay, still reasonable. I thought no one in the Zoom call could see me. Right there. So the situation, yeah, thought I had muted the Zoom video, right? That's kind of the. All right, going back to the situation where he's okay. There's a lot of situations where someone will go to the bathroom or whatever, and they'll think that their camera is off. But I thought no one in the Zoom call could see me. All right, so if he was just going to the bathroom or whatever, okay, or something along those lines, this whole defense kind of like, oh, okay, that sort of makes sense. But the situation was, yeah, all right, maybe that's like, hang on a second. No, it was a quote in here from him, and I thought that was it. Let's see. Yeah, maybe my brain fog is getting to me, but I know when I first heard the words, or first heard the statement, I said, wait a minute, you realized you were still on the call, and you were only concerned that no one else could see you, not that you had dropped off the call or that you had stepped away from the call. So I guess maybe that's not... Am I getting my information incorrect? Yeah, like I said, I've been in a complete brain fog, I mean, all day. So, okay. Where is the quote? I just read this earlier in here. Man, maybe it was a different article. So there's a quote of him talking about he realized that he was in the call with his pants down, but the audio was on. Sorry, that was it. Okay, so sorry, yeah, my brain's catching up to the situation when I first read this. Okay, so I thought I had muted the Zoom video. I thought no one in the Zoom call could see me. Now, if he's pulling down his pants to go use the bathroom, it wouldn't just be the video that he's concerned about. He's like, oh, I thought I was out of the call. I thought I was not connected. Because you don't want to hear, like, nobody wants to hear you taking a piss at a work call either. Or, going number 2. So when I first saw that, or first read this comment, I was like, he's not concerned about the sound going on when he's doing whatever. He's only concerned that he thought people might see him when he's on a work call. And it turns out after the fact, or like reports later came out, that he was not just exposing himself, but he was pleasuring himself. He was jerking it while on a work call. And it's I mean, immediately I was like, well, first I was like, okay, he's not concerned about any audio issues when he muted just the video on his Zoom call. So, because you can mute yourself and still hear other people. I do this all the time on work calls. I mute either my phone or the Zoom or WebEx or whatever, because I'm coughing, they're moving stuff around, distracting. There's all kinds of noise in the background. If I'm not saying anything that's important to the conversation, I mute myself until I need to say something. And sometimes that's a little bit of an awkward because I'm talking for a couple of seconds and people are like, "Are you there?" I'm like, "Oh, I'm muted." Yeah. Unmute myself, say, sorry, didn't realize I was still muted. And it's a little 10-second delay, but it's much more, it's much better than having, like just, burping or slurping noises in the background that no one can hear. And there's a lot of people who are on these calls who have other stuff going on in the background of usually kids screaming, and I guess they've grown accustomed to it and tune it out. But it drowns out like half of the conversation, so yeah, it's very difficult to get through some of these Zoom calls when there's loud noises in the background. You can't hear the other person talking very clearly. So his issue was not that he thought he was off the call or he thought the whole thing was muted. It was just that the video he thought was muted. That was his primary concern. I'm like, well, if you're going to take a piss, you'd also like, oh, you heard me peeing. That's like, it's not as embarrassing, but it's still slight. Or that sort of thing is, if you're going to do that, you want to make sure everything is muted, not just your video. So what he was doing is he was participating in the call, and I don't know if he thought nobody could hear the smackety smack, or maybe they might not understand what's going on, but it stands to reason that he definitely wanted to stay on the phone call, and he was probably wanking it to some of the other people on the Zoom call. Because as far as going and using the bathroom, that's a understandable thing to do. It's like, okay, yeah, you're on a work call, you're on work calls all day. There has to be some kind of break for you to go and relieve yourself. So you're listening in to them, so you mute your end so they can't hear or see you, and you go and do your stuff while you're listening to them. And then you come back and you re-enabled your camera or whatever the case may be. But jerking it on company time, the only scenario where that is even remotely plausible is if it's to someone on the work call. Because if it's, if he wants to just do that, he's supposedly a lawyer, and he's, this senior analyst for CNN and the New Yorker, whatever. You would think he would have a little more common sense than be like, oh, I'm going to do this on work time, but also while connected to a call, instead of just say, hey guys, I got to take a break, cutting out of the call, doing his thing, and then coming back. What I think is more likely is the scenario of what was going on here is he saw some of his coworkers on the Zoom call and was like, oh yeah. He was getting kind of riled up, and then it was like, oh, if I just hit this button here, look, no one can see me, and then I'll just do my thing while watching their cameras. It sounded like the whole situation sounds very much like a voyeuristic thing, like, you know, like those the peeper, the guys up in the trees watching women in their, you know, thinking no one can see them, right? That's right there. There's an Adam Sandler bit. It was like, I'm a squirrel, just being a squirrel in the tree. No one can see me. Just a squirrel. Anyway, so that's what this sounds like. And there's people going out and defending him. Like, there was some article where somebody was saying, "Oh, I'm surprised this hasn't happened sooner." It's like, no, there's been all kinds of mishaps now that everybody's on Zoom for the COVID stuff. But jerking it on company time while on a work call, the depravity of an individual to get caught in that situation, or not to get caught, but to find themselves in that situation where they feel the need to do that, that is a morally depraved individual. I mean, there's a lot of things that have to go wrong before you start to think, oh, there's nothing wrong here, or I can get away with this. It's a lot of things that a lot of a moral decline that has to happen before you think this is something I need to or should be doing. All right. Yeah. So, and here's the quote, and I can't believe no one else that I've heard so many people talking about the situation and making jokes, but the official CNN response is he has asked for some time off to deal with his personal issues, which we have granted. So the obvious joke here is, oh, so they gave him 2 minutes. Ba-dum. Yeah, deal with a personal. Never mind. Yeah. All right, I'm gonna move on to the next topic. This is just ridiculous. Wiener, Tubin, and now apparently Hunter Biden, and it's always Democrats, always. Like, there are some Republicans who are caught in some, like, you know, homosexual, when they condemn homosexual stuff. There's, you know, or conservative preachers or whatever caught in that situation, but it's always Democrats who are caught exposing themselves to a non-consenting partner. Or it's always it always flows one way. I don't know of a situation where there was a Republican or a conservative notable individual that exposed themselves, you know, intentionally or unintentionally. It's always crazy leftists. They got some kind of sexual deviation going on there. All right, let's move on to the next topic, because this one is the bombshell that has been dropping and will not stop, and it just keeps getting worse and worse as the days go by. This is new information that came out today. So I guess I gotta rewind a bit. So about Thursday or Friday, the news hit from the New York Post, same place that I'm reading this from, where they were exposing emails found on a laptop that used to belong to Hunter Biden, and these emails show communication between Hunter and Burisma, and they're talking about, and they link to what looks like Joe Biden, and they're talking about, one of the emails that is highlighted is where the guy from Burisma is talking to Hunter and thanking him for connecting him and giving him the opportunity to meet with Hunter's father, who was the vice president at the time. So, so it just kind of, this is hard confirmation for what everybody knows, what everybody's been talking about, or at least, I mean, not everybody knows. I mean, I guess there's people who lie to themselves, but what everybody's been saying since, 2016 or earlier about Joe Biden and what was going on there. Like, there's video of him bragging about the situation. This is not, that is not a deep fake. That is not some random recording. That is him bragging about getting the prosecutor who was prosecuting Burisma fired while his son was working for Burisma. That's the smoke, right? This is proof of the fire, because we can see the email communication where they're like, yeah, Hunter introduced the guy at Burisma to his father, who was the vice president of the United States at the time, who was the one who was going over to the Ukraine to give them their deal. And he's the one who was responsible for the firing of the prosecutor that was looking into Burisma. That's the... Okay. Burisma's under investigation. They reach out to Hunter Biden. Hunter Biden gets them access to his father, Joe Biden. Joe Biden threatens to withhold funding to Ukraine unless they fire the prosecutor that's after Burisma. Ukraine fires that guy. Burisma is no longer under prosecution, or no longer under investigation. That's not even tinfoil hat. That's like connect the dots in a children's book. And yet the Democrats right now are acting like it's Pepe Sylvia, like it's, Charlie Day, connecting all these disjointed dots and making up facts that aren't actually real. Pepe Sylvia is not real. And he's like, all of these people are real, and they've been complaining about not getting their mail. But the Democrats are acting like that's what's going on with all of this. Like that crazy conspiracy theories and all that sort of stuff. So here's the... so the email being released last week, that was the... Hey, there's not just smoke, there's actual fire here. We can feel the heat, we can see the light. Then Rudy Giuliani was on Crowder's program, and on that program, he kind of nonchalantly dropped another bomb that Hunter Biden's lawyer had reached out to them to get the computer back. So the hard drive that is no longer Hunter Biden's possession, it is now under the possession of Rudy Giuliani, and because it was given to him by the computer repair guy, who is the current rightful owner of that laptop, because Hunter had abandoned it for however many days. So the lawyer for Hunter Biden sought out the laptop from Rudy Giuliani and demanded they give it back. And he's like, yeah, I've got no obligation to give it back. And all that does is confirm what Giuliani is saying, that this is legitimate. This used to be Hunter's property. It was abandoned, forgot about it, but it was abandoned long enough for it to become somebody else's property. And now he gets no say over what happens to it. So the fact that he's trying to get it back now just goes to show that, yes, this is legitimately a laptop that used to belong to him. If it was just made up, Russian conspiracy, or they wouldn't have sought to get it back. So that's right there. There you got, like, Giuliani dropped that on Thursday or Friday, and I was like, yeah, that's a huge, okay, now we've got not just a light or a bit of heat, we've got a roaring fire. And then one of the people who was on those emails is this guy, Tony Babulinsky, sure. Babulinsky? Man, that is a weird last name. Anyway, so this Tony Babulinsky is one of the guys who was on those emails. And he is now coming out against Hunter and Joe Biden and saying, yes, these are legitimate emails. They use references like the big guy. And he says, yeah, that's definitely a reference to Joe Biden. So he's just confirming what people suspected about the emails. And he was one of the people on the chain. Now, it stands to reason that he was one of the people on the chain, probably under investigation. Considering all these people are on the same email, it's not hard to trace who owns the email address, at least not for the FBI and the intelligence agencies. And if they're already looking into this guy's kind of like, oh, I'm screwed. I'm a part of this, and he's shoving everybody else under the bus in order to try to save himself. I mean, that just stands to reason. Doesn't mean that what he's saying is incorrect or is a lie. Often, this is how assets get turned as far as, like, you know, a criminal from some criminal organization, like a middle manager kind of drug pusher, gets, you know, they have some dirt on him, and he turns and he gives the cops information about somebody higher up in the food chain. That doesn't mean that what the guy is saving his own skin in order to turn in some bigger fish for the cops. That doesn't mean that what the guy gives the cops is incorrect information. This is actually how the majority of these big drug busts occur, as they go after low guys, you know, low guys on the totem pole, find something hard on them, and they're like, yeah, you're going to go away from like for 12 years, but we could reduce your sentence if you're willing to give us information that leads to something bigger. So this guy is, I mean, likely is going to see a plea deal in order, you know, to save his own neck, or say, hey, I had no part in this, something along those lines, to give himself immunity, because he's already saying, yeah, this is completely legitimate. This was definitely Biden selling his office so that way his son could rake in money from this Burisma company, and then that money was funneled to Joe, because it talks about them setting aside 10% for the big guy, and the big guy, according to, which was, I mean, everybody kind of assumed it was talking about Joe Biden, and this guy who was actually on the email chain is now confirming that. And it's just going to get worse and worse as time goes by for Hunter and Joe Biden. And the other thing about this laptop that everybody's talking about, there are Giuliani has now come out saying that there are underage women in sexual positions with Hunter Biden, or either exposing themselves on the laptop or in sexually compromised situations with Hunter Biden. And so they're being investigated for statutory rape and things to do with CP and all of that. So yeah, it just gets worse and worse. But this is all stuff that everybody, it's not an open secret. It's all stuff that everybody knew and was saying and was being constantly denied. And right now, Joe Biden is just kind of not acknowledging this. He hasn't come out and actually said that none of this is wrong or incorrect. Yeah, this is, I mean, so this is confirming what we know. We now have a raging bonfire where we saw smoke, where all we could say is like, yeah, there's definitely smoke here. There's something fishy going on here. Now we've got the raging bonfire, and yet the mainstream media and the Democrats are kind of like, what bonfire? And I'm like, the one that's crackling and burning everything, the one that's about to catch your garments on fire. And they're like, what? No, I don't know what you're talking about. There's no fire here. Fire. This place is as cold as Alaska. I don't know what you're talking about, a fire. There's nothing to see here. It's that scene from The Naked Gun where he's standing in front of the building that is literally going up in fire, and fireworks are going everywhere, and he said, oh, nothing to see here, folks. That's what's going on right now with the Joe Biden story. It's ridiculous. All right, but I just had to comment on that because this is the biggest news we've had all year in a crazy year. I mean, and this story that's coming out is very similar to what they tried to actually impeach Trump over. And what they were trying to impeach Trump over was a watered down, even if it was true, it was a very minuscule version of what Joe Biden actually did. It would be like, if you're trying to put it in raw numbers, if Trump was doing what they claimed he did in the impeachment, it would be 1/10 or less compared to what Joe Biden actually did and what they're able to prove with this email chain and with this laptop. And nothing. This is so ridiculous and so unethical on behalf of all these mainstream media companies. The only ones that are talking about this at all are Fox News, as far as the mainstream media. OAN is talking about it. Daily Wire's talking about it. Crowder's talking about it. All the conservative people are talking about it. Tim Pool's talking about it. Dave Rubin's talking about it. All these, and CNN and MSNBC, all of these other organizations Crickets. Nothing. Oh, the other thing about this is social media have been banning links to this article. Like Facebook was blocking traffic to this New York Post site. You know, anybody who's linking it was getting, oh, we can't, for some reason we can't send this link. I don't know what the problem is. It was getting blocked on Twitter and Facebook. Yeah. So that's how you know this is something that is true and relevant, and they're trying their hardest to make sure that nobody knows the truth. Because I've got no problem having people post articles about, you know, oh, very fine people on both sides. People can post that day and night, even though you can look at the actual clip and be like, right before he said that, I've got the clip on my phone. I've got it stored in case anybody brings that crap up. I can be like, no, I've got it's a video from CNN. It's downloaded to my phone, so even if they remove it from YouTube or whatever, I'm like, I can play that for him and be like, look, here he is saying, I'm not talking about the white supremacists and neo-Nazis. I condemn them entirely. And then he says, but there were very fine people on both sides. That's the full context. But anybody can come on any social media platform and say, oh, he was saying that white supremacists and Nazis were very fine people. And they can make up this, you know, these ridiculous claims about Trump working for Putin and being a Nazi spy, or, you know, being a Russian spy and being a secret Nazi, and, you know, never once condemning white supremacy, even though he just did it. Like, he had just said, like, it was during the town hall when, and she said, oh, would you ever, and he says, I condemn white supremacy and white nationalism. And she said, yeah, but it feels like you never do. Like, what kind of insanity is that? He just said, I condemn those things, and then she said, yeah, but it feels like you don't. It feels like you never do. But he just did. The one thing that you're accusing him of not doing, he just did, and then you say, oh, but it feels like you don't do that. They're absolutely denying the reality that just occurred 5 seconds for you. Yeah, 5 seconds ago for you. Insanity. Anyway. Yep. Alright, so it is 8:36. So that was all the serious topics. Aw, and it's already, I started this video to test my audio and forgot to reset it. Alright, so kind of giving it away a little bit here, but I'm going to play it anyway.
Alan, this species of cartoon has been extinct since 1998. I mean, these haven't been seen on TV since the golden era of animation. And what?
It's the Warner Brothers.
And the Warner sister.
He did it. That crazy son of a gun actually did it. Clean vectored outlines, widescreen format.
These don't look like reruns.
They're not. I reanimated them. We are gonna make a fortune with this show. How zany are they? Oh, to the max. Of course. Then there's Pinky and the Brain.
Pinky and the Brain? You said you're bringing back Pinky and the Brain?
Mm-hmm. Say it again. We're bringing back Pinky and the Brain.
Put your head between your knees.
Boingy, 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 boingy.
Where are they going?
Home. Welcome to Animaniacs.
Yeah. November 20th. All right. I'm excited about that. That's advertising done right. So, big props to those guys for bringing this back. Animaniacs is one of those shows that, every day after school, we run home so that way you can catch, it was Animaniacs, Darkwing Duck, there was Gargoyles. Man, Gargoyles was a good show. You know, all those shows that were on at, like, immediately after school. Those were like a daily necessity. And the Animaniacs, one of the best shows ever created. And yeah, the most people's first introduction to meta humor. At least it was my first introduction to meta humor, where they made a joke, and the joke, or the punchline of the joke, was the censors won't allow that, and the thing wouldn't be dirty except for the fact they said, oh, the censors wouldn't allow that, and that made it dirty. But it was brilliant. They did that stuff all the time. Yeah. Oh, and yeah, there's an episode where they're playing detectives, and Yakko is dressed up like Sherlock Holmes, and they're investigating, and they're dusting for prints, and Dot says, found him, and she's holding prints, and then Yakko goes, no, fingerprints. And they both, Prince puts like a little smile on his face, and Dot looks at him for a second, and she's like, no, I don't think so. I can't believe that joke got through. Yeah. I maybe the people who were at the censors at the time didn't realize what the joke was actually. I was like, man, that is, I mean, I didn't catch it when I was younger either. I only caught it when I was older, when I'm seeing old clips of it. I'm like, did they just do that? They made a joke about fingering Prince and got away with it on a kid's cartoon. It was, brilliant stuff like that is, that's just on the line. But if you're a kid, it goes right over your head. If you're an adult, you catch it. And if you're the censors, apparently you're like, let's let that through. All right. Is it playing? Okay, there it goes.
Don't move.
Let me see it.
Don't move. Amy.
Let me see it.
Okay. Ready?
Mm-hmm. I love it.
That's super sweet, because it's terrible. Oh my God.
Where have you been, Joel?
Amy, I love you. I'm gonna come find you.
The day of the monster uprising was the day I lost everyone. Only a small fraction of humanity survived and moved underground. I've been scanning for Amy the entire time. And now I finally found her.
Joel.
Hey.
Joel.
Amy, is that you?
Oh my God.
Hey. How far away is Amy's colony?
85 miles. It's an impossible journey. Everyone will try to kill you. Don't fight. Just run and hide.
Okay. You all alone? Me too. You don't have to talk about it. You want to come with me? Look out! Is that a samurai sword?
Yeah, it is.
Yes, it is. Listen to your instincts out here, man.
What if I have terrible instincts?
You'll die.
Super encouraging speech.
You made it all this way for a girl, huh? You ever hear the term fool's errand?
Amy, I miss you so much.
So,
We have lost this war.
alright. I guess I should
We can
put
still
some
take our world back.
copyright or
You're
something
more
like
of a
that.
survivor than I thought.
Just kind of enjoying this. This is a really cool concept. I don't know how this film got approved and is made in Hollywood. And just copy and paste ideas over and over again without doing anything. It's very rare that a unique film comes out. Like Cabin in the Woods, and this. So, like this, I guess it kind of reminds me a little bit of what's it? Zombieland, and it's kind of a post-apocalyptic world. There's things to run away from in fear, except for the zombies in Zombieland were not really all that threatening. Whereas the monsters in this are a bit of more threat, but it's got that same kind of not taking anything seriously, but it's kind of a mix of cool action and interesting story. So I mean, yeah, that preview came out of nowhere, and I was just like, dude, yeah, well, this looks awesome. This was like the one of the very like the only like original things that I'm looking forward to as far as new movies coming out. I mean, everything else is like a remake, or I mean, like I'm looking forward to Batman, but it's not a original. It's not. There's very few things that are being approved or greenlit that are kind of like, oh, that looks awesome and that looks unique and new. So, that's it. So, but yeah, Love and Monsters, that kind of fits the bill of something unique, and I'm surprised it. I mean, it looks like it's really well done. I'm surprised it's getting the funding and production that it needs in order to make it a quality movie. Surprised it got that traction. Alright. So, I think we got time to talk about this. I got 15 minutes, so I'll spend about 10 minutes on this, and then we'll move on. So, I found this video. I'm not sure exactly why, but I have been getting calls like every other day claiming to be from Amazon on my phone, and it's nice to know what this guy's doing about the situation.
There's one type of scam which you're going to hear on an almost daily basis.
Hi, this is a call from Amazon to inform you that your Amazon Prime account will be auto-renewed for $79.99 from your bank account. So enjoy using Amazon Prime services, or if you wish to discontinue or unsubscribe services, then speak to our Amazon service manager by pressing 1.
It's not surprising that scammers will pretend to be Amazon. Almost everyone has heard of them, and indeed very many people will have placed orders with them, but this is exactly what the scammers are looking for. But this type of scam is even more serious than the tech support calls. These scammers are after your entire bank account. I've been watching some of these groups for more than a month, and have been trying to undermine their scams.
Yeah, so I'm not sure how this guy is doing what he's doing, but it's pretty cool. So he's not one of the people responsible for the hacking. He's a white hat hacker, and somehow got access to the systems that they're using, and is monitoring them in real time as these people are trying to scam. You know, usually it's elderly people who are not aware of what's going on.
Your Amazon account.
Dear customer, we have detected a suspicious activity on your Amazon account. An unauthorized purchase of iPhone 6s 64GB.
Yeah, that's the one I keep getting, is, oh, somebody purchased an iPhone on your Amazon account. I'm like, no, they didn't. I can see my Amazon account. I visit my Amazon account pretty on a regular basis. I can see all the activity. No one purchased anything like that. So I know it's a scam, although it is really annoying to get these calls on a regular basis. And yeah, I guess I shouldn't accept, you know, calls from random numbers, but sometimes those random numbers are my doctor's office or my boss calling from another number. So I'm in a situation where I kind of have to answer the call even if I don't recognize the number, because I've answered it too many times when I was like, yeah, this is somebody who actually needed to get a hold of me. And yeah.
Bytes has been ordered from your Amazon account. To cancel your order or to connect with one of our customer support representatives, please press 1.
And if you did press 1, you'd be speaking to someone whose job it is to try and get access to your computer and convince you to log in to your online bank account. We can see here the script that every scammer will use whenever they receive one of these phone calls.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I mean, granted, yeah, I guess they are going after the elderly, but why would an Amazon technician need access to your computer and then need you to log into your bank account? I don't know who would, like, I don't know. So even if you're elderly and you don't understand computers at all, you should know, oh, there's been a charge on my account. Well, then I can just call my bank and say that wasn't me, that was somebody else, and then they can cancel that charge. Or you can say, hey, Amazon, why don't you just refund the account. You don't need my bank information. You don't need to log into my computer to do this. But I guess there are enough people who don't realize that's the situation, and they will allow these scammers to do it.
That's a lot of iPhone 11 orders.
Yeah. Actually, let me inform you that we have received some suspicious activities in your Amazon account, that somebody has tried to order an iPhone 11. So that's why we have called you. Do you know about that? 1 minute, let me confirm your phone number. Your phone number is...
The scammer will see the victim's phone number and they'll claim that this number was used to set up an Amazon account.
That's correct. That's correct.
Okay, so this is just a confirmation call, and we have found that you haven't placed the order, right?
Yes, that's correct. I haven't.
Do we have any computer or laptop so that we can be able to send you an online cancellation form?
The computer or laptop is absolutely essential for this scam to work. Without it, they're going to fail to get access to the victim's bank account. No computer, no scam. So if you're advising any older relatives on how to combat the scam, just get them to say they don't have a computer.
No, they don't live here by that name. No, nobody lives here by that
actually,
name.
madam, Mr. Allen.
With who?
So it goes through a little bit of how the scam
The name
works.
of the account and the four digits that go with it. Then we'll do the.
Then we can do the checking account.
Checking account.
And now the and edits the total to make it look as if he's putting money in.
Yeah. So
yes.
Yeah.
Ending with 1758.
And his technician and his billing department are just him.
In the meantime, just give me 2 minutes.
From this moment, the victim only sees the word PC help and that's it.
Finish his work, and in the meantime my team will also, the billing team also will go ahead and transfer the money to you.
With her screen blackened, he now simply goes back into her bank account and edits the total to make it look as if he's putting money in.
Yes, sir.
And I really
I just want to thank you for your patience and your cooperation. This can't be easy.
The way you're cooperating with me, the patience level you have, the way you talk to me in a polite manner, I'm really like appraising your effort and all these things.
Continuously flattering her as he steals her money.
Where are you calling from? Are you in the United States or is it international?
United States. Redmond. The Washington State.
Kolkata is apparently in Washington State.
Yes.
Yes, yes.
Oh, I know you meant. Yeah, the state of Washington. Oh, yeah. Yeah, the D.C. They just say D.C.
He then spends the next few minutes figuring out just how much money he's going to try and steal from her. He decides he can get away with $20,000, so he makes an edit to the page to look as if this money has been added through Chase Bank.
We will open up a refund gateway right in front of your eyes, by which you can simply go ahead and you can put in your details and get your money right now, right away. That is the last option which we have, and I do believe in this way you will surely get your money.
The purpose of this part is to make it look as if they promise her a certain amount, but he'll add 2 extra zeros and blame it on the victim.
Please enter your refund amount. The refund amount should be $200, as I said to you.
Yeah,
we will make the payment in part by part. Yeah,
I need a dollar sign or... Okay, hold on. Oh.
And he deliberately types 2 extra zeros. And the script says check balance. That's his cue to reveal the edited bank page.
Are you done, ma'am?
Yeah, I did. I put it in.
You put it in? Are you done with it? Check everything. Is it correct? What happened?
Jesus. Oh, no, this is a mistake. Oh, I screwed up.
Jesus.
I
Jesus,
up.
What happened? The thing which I am seeing, are you seeing the same thing, ma'am?
Of course you are, because you set it up.
Oh,
refund amount. That was supposed to be... Oh, there was supposed to be a... it was supposed to be a 200 in there. I was... Oh, God almighty. I'm completely spent. You know what? Keep the frickin' money. I don't... I can't... This isn't worth it to me. This is not worth it. Keep the money.
I'm gonna cry because of this silly mistake, my job is in stake. If I'll not give...
I'm exhausted. I can't do this. My mind is absolutely fried.
Please check your account. Did you really receive that money in your account? Oh God, please save me. Oh my God. Do you have the piece of paper in which you have written down the balance of your account, of your checking account?
So let's hear how he wants that fake money back.
Hello, Miss Bessie?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes, I got an option. Have you heard about Zelle transfer?
About what?
Zelle transfer.
At this point, I've called Bank of America and I've given them details of what's happening to Bessie.
So this is where it gets amazing. It's like at all the way up till then, you're just like, man, this is terrible. You feel bad for the people getting scammed, and then he's like, yeah, we saved this woman.
At least they've managed to suspend the account and prevented any Zelle transfers. So when he does attempt to transfer her money to one of his accomplices, the whole transaction fails.
Yeah. So at this point, nothing has changed about her actual account. The guy was manipulating the screen so that it looked like she was, the screen that actually displays her webpage. So he's manipulating the browser HTML to make it look like she just, added this much money to her bank account when she was only supposed to get 200. And then she, the victim or whatever, under normal circumstances, might end up going to Zelle and sending $20,000 to someone else, and when they actually look back at their bank statement, instead of going from $98,000 to $78,000, they actually went from $78,000 to $58,000. That's the scam they were trying to pull, but thanks to this guy monitoring what they were doing and cutting them off at the pass, he blocked. He's like, yeah, he called Bank of America. Yeah, these guys are scamming her. Don't let her send anything. Block this account from sending any money.
And when he finally gets off the phone, it's my chance to call Bessie and warn her that the whole thing is a scam.
I screwed up.
It's okay.
I made a mistake. I put the wrong dollar amount in for a refund on my.
Okay, I can assure you, you didn't mess up. That is how their scam works. They make it look as if they put money into your account.
I did though.
No, actually you didn't, and I'll explain why, and you can double check this with the bank. It took me quite a while to explain to Bessie what had happened and to remove the Screen Connect software which the scammer was continuing to use on her computer. And for an entire week, every time the scammer managed to get someone to log into their bank account, I was there behind him, calling the victim and warning them that it was a scam.
It is.
Hello. Hi, Nancy.
What can I help you with? I'm on another call.
I know, and if you could hang up that call, because I know it's a scam, and you probably know it's a scam as well. I'll explain how I know this, and how you can get your computer back as well. Okay.
I was worried. I'm sorry. I'm elderly, and I was just very. I know I shouldn't have done it, but
it's okay.
Anyways,
it's all right, Nancy. You probably want to switch off your computer because these scammers will constantly call you to try and get money from you. And I'll try and guide you.
Who are you? I guess.
Have you hung up the other line in case they can hear?
It's dead now.
Okay.
They can't hear.
In fact, I was doing this so often that the scammers finally figured out that there was something up with their computer, that a mystery caller managed to get through to each of their victims every day in the week. They even wrote me a note on screen, thinking that I could maybe read it. I didn't give him the satisfaction of even replying to it. I let him just stew in the thought that someone may or may not have been watching him. But a little like me, these scammers could watch their victims even though the victims were unaware, and they were able to do this through a front end of Screen Connect. So I decided to wipe out the names of all of their victims so that they couldn't regain a connection. I had to very quickly select all of the victims' names and quickly hit the delete key before they could do anything about it.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome.
अपना माँ का कसम खाने बोल हम देखा है भाई मेरी भी डिलीट कर दी है सब डिलीट कर गेम के लिए बेसी को उड़ा के मार कर दी है अरे सब उड़ा दी है ऑल सेशन.
But sadly, that was just one of at least 30 different call centres in Kolkata alone who are all running the Amazon scam.
Yeah.
With any luck, the CBI or the Kolkata Cyber Police will take more action against these scammers. I've seen a...
So I'm not gonna, yeah, that's the end of it, or wow, it's already 9 o'clock, so I will go ahead and start wrapping up this video. Yeah, so I was glad to see this guy's video. He's got 2 million subscribers. I'm not sure exactly what this guy does as profession, but this is an example of white knight hacking, being the good, or white hat hacking, not white knight, white hat hacking, somebody using their skills with a computer to infiltrate systems for the benefit and protection of the people who try, that would normally be scammed. This guy's doing a good job, doing good stuff. So I'm glad that he's got a good sized channel and that he's got support for these types of activities of stopping these stupid scammers. Now, if there was just some way that there would, I mean, I'm on the do not call list, and I'm on all these things that are supposed to block these automated robocalls and stuff, but it doesn't work because somebody named Nicole signed up for some kind of crap using my phone number. Like, maybe their number is something close to it, but it doesn't matter because it doesn't matter if I'm on the do not call list, because half of the people, or more than half of the like 80 to 90% of the people that are calling my phone with these stupid scams are asking for Nicole because she put my information out there. And the way that the call blocking system is, apparently Nicole with this number is not the same thing as me with that number. It's so freaking annoying. Alright. So I don't think I'm going to play these whole things, but I will. They are linked in the description. I'll play like a minute or two of each.
My love and I took it down. Climbed a mountain and I turned around, and I saw my reflection in the snow-covered hills till the landslide brought me down. Oh, mirror in the sky, what is love? Can the child within my heart rise above? Can I sail through the changing ocean tides? Can I handle the seasons of my life?
Yeah, man, their voices just harmonize so well together. And so this is just one example in a great song. But here's something that they did as an original song where, yeah, same kind of.
Today you said you needed space, said you needed time, said you had a lot of things on your mind. Well, did it all go wrong? Me, I'm still in love. You told me it would take a lot of time to fix this, but I can't wait forever. I'll pack up and go if that's what you want.
That harmony.
You need your freedom, and who am I to stand in your way? So I won't be waiting here when you come back.
Yeah, I was blown away. It's like, man, I don't know why that sounds so good, but it's, yeah, their voices just complement each other so well in these songs. So, and I know these girls are kind of more country style, not my favorite type of music, but yeah, all the covers I've seen from them, I'm like, or all the songs that I've seen on their videos, like, man, just the vocals and the fact that she's playing a guitar while singing like that is, I mean, I gotta say, these are not the most impressive individual voices, but when you merge them, or when they sing together, I was like, that is something very rare to find in a duet, even amongst like the duets that are famous. It's very rare to hear something like that. So on their own, above average, but not like amazing. But for some reason, when they're combined together, I was like, wow, that is a great sound. And I don't know what the ages are or how far along they are in their careers, but hopefully they make a name for themselves and become. I mean, 56,000 subscribers is not too bad, but I definitely see a major music career in their futures if they keep that up. That is, yeah, that harmony right there is amazing. All right, so that's all I have for this week. It is a little after 9, so I'm gonna go ahead and shut her down. So, this is just a bunch of messages telling me that chat got disconnected. Okay. So I'm going to end it there, and I will see you guys on Tuesday.